Karen Bass, she's had quite the year. It's been a rough year. 2025, she had wildfires. She had the protests. And then she got this interview with ABC, which I think she thought was going to be some sort of softball interview. And then when it wasn't, everything sort of unraveled for her. And she said the quiet part out loud. So let's take a look.
When you look at the raids and the deportations, just tell me who you think should be deported. Is it just people who've been convicted of crimes? You have, almost 1 million undocumented workers in Los Angeles. What should happen to those people?
So let me just say that because we are a city of immigrants, we have entire sectors of our economy that are dependent on immigrant labor. We have to get the fire areas rebuilt. We're not going to get our city rebuilt without immigrant labor. And it's not just the deportation. It's...
Just gonna throw this out there. It is illegal under U.S. code to employ illegal aliens. So is Karen Bass advocating that people need to employ illegal alien, which is committing federal crimes? Is that what she's advocating? She's telling people you should just go out and commit federal crimes. She's also saying that there's absolutely no way we could get this solved unless you just stop deportations in Los Angeles.
Fear that sets in when raids occur, when people are snatched off the street. And I know you are aware that even people who are here legally, even people who are U.S. citizens have been detained. Immigrants who have their papers and were showing up for their annual immigration appointment were detained when they showed up doing exactly what they were supposed to be doing.
So they should not be deported?
I don't think
they should stay.
Well, this is what
1 million undocumented.
No, let me just tell you what I think.
Martha asking the hardball questions here at point blank. Karen Bass, do you think the 1 million undocumented immigrants here, undocumented citizens, illegal aliens, should be allowed to stay in LA? Because that's her argument, is that, the economy will fall apart in Los Angeles if we keep these deportations. We won't be able to rebuild the Palisades. I mean, you won't be able to rebuild the Palisades mostly because the city of LA is dragging their feet when it's coming to permitting because, I don't know, there's only been like a dozen or so, out of 96 or something. Like there's only been like a dozen permits even issued in Los Angeles.
Need is comprehensive immigration reform. I served in Congress for 12 years.
And didn't get it.
And didn't get it. I have to give credit to Martha here because this is some hardball stuff. I always laugh at this because if you want to know how Democrats really don't care about this issue and they just use this issue just for political points, think of how many times Democrats have controlled the presidency in both houses of Congress. And they never got something done, right? They never got something done. When Barack Obama was in office and he was immensely popular, right? Why didn't you get it done then? You've been there for 12 years. You didn't get it done. When Joe Biden was in office, you didn't get it done. So, this shows me that it wasn't a top priority for them. It's only a top priority for them now because they can kick their feet and throw a little temper tantrum about it. So for all those who think that Democrats care about this, I don't believe they actually care about this issue. It's only for politics.
And then why didn't we get it? I mean, after I left, there was an immigration reform bill that had bipartisan support. This was during the campaign. The president decided he didn't want to have it happen because he didn't want immigration reform to happen where he didn't take credit for it.
But
shocker. It's Trump's fault. I've been in Congress for 12 years and it's Trump's fault that we didn't get immigration reform. And let me see, I'm no mathematician, but let's see. Okay, 12 years ago, how many years? And then, there was Joe Biden in the middle. Right. You still had the opportunity. And Democrats still had the opportunity. So it's all Trump's fault. Right? Because you put forward this bill and the Republicans control the House, and they said, no, we're not going to do it. It's Trump's fault. Yep. Forget the fact that, again, like I said, you had Barack Obama, immensely popular president back in the time, didn't do it.
To that question of undocumented workers, I'm thinking back, and a border control agent once said to me, as we saw migrants during a very bad time for so many migrants coming across when Joe Biden was president, and you know that, just massive numbers.
Yes.
And I said, do you feel bad for these people? And the border agent said, you know what, I do, but I also know they're cutting in line in front of those people who want to do it legally in the right way.
Let me just tell you that the people that make that trek, many of whom walk from Central America and even South America up to our border, risk their lives. I don't believe that all of these people are sitting at home dreaming of coming to Los Angeles. They're coming.
Well, I mean, we can agree on that. I don't think a lot of people are dreaming of going to Los Angeles. Not in the current state it's in. I don't think a lot of people are dreaming about going to Los Angeles. So we can certainly agree there.
Here out of desperation.
No offense to people who live in Los Angeles. Just not my cup of tea. Again, I'm from San Diego. I like San Diego better.
Look, go back to Joe Biden again, okay? There
Joe
was
Biden.
hundreds of thousands of people crossing that border.
Right.
When you look at that border today, is there anything good you think the administration has done in these 6 months at the border?
Well, I will heap praise on the administration for the first 6 months in Los Angeles with the fires. If you
Deflection. That's not an answer. The question was, is there anything you thought they did well on the border? Not the wildfires.
ask me, is there anything that they have done good in terms of immigration? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that the viewpoint has been punitive, has been let's make it as miserable as possible so that these people don't come.
Are you having conversations with the Trump administration about this?
I have not recently. I have put in a request, and I hope to. I will always be open to a conversation.
So even with the Guard here, they've had no conversations.
I want to work with the administration to solve this problem. We have the World Cup in 11 short months here. We have the Olympics and Paralympics coming in 3 short years. I know that these games are very important to the president, and I look forward to working with him. And we have a extreme.
Well, I'm sure he's looking forward to working with you as well, but I don't think he wants to do the things that you want to work together on regarding deportations. There was that incident in the park where you came down, wagged your finger, and act like, the prototypical Karen, waving at ICE and Border Patrol to get out of there. She, I think, really stepped in it in this interview. And I give credit to Martha from ABC, Martha Raddatz, who gave her hardball questions. It was not a softball interview. She basically said, look, do you believe that 1 million undocumented citizens or illegal aliens in the Los Angeles area should stay here? And she pressed her on it. Like, do you think, hundreds of thousands were pouring across the border during Joe Biden? Did you have a problem with that? And she put her into a little box. She basically made Karen Bass admit, I love open borders and illegal immigration. That's what she basically admitted in that entire interview, is that we want these people to come here. We want people to make the trek to come here. We want open borders. I had no problem with Joe Biden opening the border and letting them flood across. I had no problem with that. That is what she's basically saying. And Martha got her to admit that on camera right there in that interview. She could not defend it. She could not, for the life of her, give any sort of credit to the Trump administration for doing what they're doing. She couldn't say anything. She brought up that story about Border Patrol and how he felt bad for people who were doing it the right way and how there's people who are cutting. And there's another issue that Democrats never bring up about illegal immigration, which is a really sad issue. And I urge you can go back to our episode with Jorge Ventura, is the child trafficking that is going on at the border right now. The amount of little minor children who are ending up caught or, apprehended at the border because they are these children who you have no idea who they are with. They're not with their parents, and they're being trafficked across the border and then sent off to all parts of the country. That, to me, is an incredible tragedy that none of the Democrats ever talk about or they never bring up. But Karen Bass, in that interview, basically open admission, she's for open borders. She's for illegal immigration. We need it because we need them to rebuild the Palisades. We need it because we have the games coming. Like, this is all the stuff that she knew. I mean, we have our economy will fall apart if we get rid of all of these people. Our whole economy is based on illegal immigration. But it is interesting to see how Martha pressed her. She thought she was getting a softball interview, and instead she got a hard interview, flubbed up, and really stepped in it and said the quiet part out loud. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that Karen Bass really said the quiet part out loud and really just let everybody know her real agenda when it comes to illegal immigration in Los Angeles?